Helps if I turn on the microphone. Hi, everybody. My name is Ron. So, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time watching a new video, or if you're watching this live. But, yeah. So, I have a little bit of a problem here. I'm running into this, and I know what's causing the problem. I'm just want to talk to others that may have run into this. But I'm having thermal runaway detection errors ever since I changed my nozzle. Now, there's a couple of things that's leading to this, and I really do think it's my blowers that are causing the issue. So, I have the design that's out on Thingiverse for a V6, which is almost like a fang, but it's like half a fang. And I got a 15, and I got the 1550 blowers on there, on each side. Now, I've reduced them down to at least 20%. I'm still getting thermal runaway. I don't know if it's something, if I have to turn the blowers down like to almost nothing, or if this is something that's being caused by another fan. So I've been doing some testing. I think it really comes down to the blowers. And the thing is, guys, make sure you have your thermal runaway protection turned on all your printers. I don't care if you got like a printer that's like, you got it back last year or you just got it. Make sure it has thermal runaway, because if it doesn't, you could have a fire on your hands. When you think about these printers use a lot of voltage, and if that thermistor falls out, you could have thermal runaway and burn down your house. It's a thing. It happens. We always hear about an A-net catching on fire, because A-nets are the worst offenders of the thermal runaway protection. I don't know why they're the worst, but they are. Also, if you take your time to protect your printer, you put on the right protection, you make sure your wiring is done correctly, you can still have thermal runaway protection just kick on and not be detected. But I'm having thermal runaway, and I know what's causing my thermal runaway. Because my two blowers are blowing way too much air onto my heating block, causing this thermal runaway. And the reason I wanted to go live to see if anybody else has experienced this issue. Now, if you have, now we have no one coming on to the chat, so I'm okay with that. But if you have a CR10 and you've experienced thermal runaway, I'd like to know what was your thermal runaway protection issue? Was it with a Was it with a fan blower? Like, I'm just gonna pull up the Thingiverse so you guys know which one I'm running. Just pulling up the CR10 right now. CD10, no. What, CR? Gotta love when you type things wrong. Right now, I'm just looking for the blower, the one I'm using for mine. CR10. 10V6. There she is. So I'll show you guys in a second while I'm running. So it loads up. Yeah, I have a silicone sock on it. Hey, thanks for coming in anyways. So this is the blower I am using right now. Let me just show you guys. Come on. Okay, I want to turn on my display capture. There it is right there. That's the one I'm using. It's the V6 Volcano E3D Heavy Duty Customizable Module E3D V6 Mount Volcano 5015 with ABL. And I'm getting the thermal runaway. And I think it has something to do with the fan system right here. And if I remember correctly, it's the fans that are blowing in, because what's happening is the fans are blowing too much cold air onto even with the sock on there, it's just blowing way too much cold air. So it's one of the things I got to figure out how I'm going to fix it. But I'm also wondering if my fan in the front is putting out too much airflow, causing it to have it, do what it's doing. Well, let the heater heat up first, and then I turn on the cooling fans after about the third layer, and that's when I get the thermal runaway error. It's just after the third line is done. I haven't hooked it up to Octoprint. I've been standing right beside the printer watching it, and I've been watching the temperature go down, 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 down as soon as it starts printing. So I'm thinking I'm having an issue, not as thermal runaway, but I think it is an issue where the nozzle can't stay hot enough for the print. And if that's the case, let me just turn that back off so you don't have to see it. Oh, don't need that either. So I'm going to go into the settings again. I'm going to play around with it a little bit more deeper. But I am running Marlin 1.1.9, so yay. But for some strange reason, I'm getting the thermal runaway. Now, I've knocked it down to about 20%, and I'm still getting thermal runaway. So that got me going, are the fans too powerful? And I'm having an issue with thermal runaway. Or B, do I have some bad wiring somewhere? Now, the fact that it heats up and it's hot to the touch, like even when I touch the sock, it is super hot. Oh, the graph shows? So, okay, I'll give you an idea. As soon as the fans kick on, I'm sitting at it starts dropping down to 198, 197, 196, 195, 194, 193, 192, 190. It holds there for a few seconds, then it drops again. Harsh. And then as soon as it hits 170, poof, turns off. It says thermal runaway error. So I know the thermal runaway is working, so that's good. But I have a feeling I know that the fans are up too high. And I know someone that has this exact same setup, and he might be able to help me. He, either Matt, or even my good friend Brian are both running the same V6 add-on, and they're running it. One's running it on a CR10, the other one's running it on the Ender 3. So that's already led me down to the path of I think I'm going to have to even modify this a little bit more. So I'm going to go back to the drawing board and see what I can do. But yeah, just something to keep in mind that if you don't have thermal runaway turned on, you might want to turn that on just to be sure that your printer is working right. But yeah, my thermal runaway just went off like an alarm and just shut down everything. As soon as I realized, oh, it's thermal runaway again, that's when I figured out, okay, it's these coolers. But like I said, I'm going to try working on it again and knock it down again. But it just shows you, like, if you don't have that protection on, thermistor is going to fall out of your printer. You might as well kiss your house goodbye. So don't forget to enable your thermal runaway protection. And this is basically just saying for everybody to think about, check it. Unscrew the thermistor, pull it out, pull your heating block out, the heating thermistor out. I'm getting my words all mixed up. Not the thermistor, take out your heat block and just let it hang there loosely. And see if you got thermal runaway turns on. It should. And if you notice it turns on and it says your printer's out, then great. You know that thermal runaway is working. But it's always good to have a look at it. Yeah, at least I know it works. That's true. Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm not doing anything stupid, like I missed something or I rewired the wrong wire, and that's all this is all about. And it's just going over it and making sure I've got everything done properly. But since everybody's not available, anyways, everyone, hope you have a great, happy new year. All the best to you in 2019. And what I may do is I may come on maybe tomorrow afternoon and we'll talk a little bit more about this. But if you get to see the video, comment down below. For the people who aren't in the chat, please comment. It helps us out a lot. Hey, Michael Castell, happy new year, buddy. So I guess you've been listening a little bit on. So I got thermal runaway issues galore. Yeah. You don't have the V6 on your printer, do you? Just waiting for Kiss to see if he's running into this. No, he doesn't? Oh, no. Yeah, so I'm having thermal runaway issues galore. I'm not even sure where they're coming from. Well, it says we got 4 viewers, but 3 viewers? What the heck is going on here, YouTube? All yours were stock when you had your issues? Okay. Okay. Well, I'm having thermal runaway issues, and I think it's my blower fans because I've even got them down to 20%, and I was still getting the issue with the thermal runaway. So I'm going to try it at 10 and see if I get a good Benji out of it. If the Benji turns out perfect, then I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just testing the printer to make sure everything's working, and then I can tune it, which means going into the settings and doing some adjustments. I'm also going to do a little bit more reading on it, but it's fully Marlin, yet I don't remember ever seeing DPS settings on it, so oh well. Back to the board again and try again. So bring out another Benchy and see what happens. And yeah, if I still getting the thermal runaway, or I might, you know what? Let's just say this. Let me just come back on sometime tomorrow afternoon, my time. Sorry, guys. For the ones that don't live in the East Coast, that live on the other side of the world. Yep. Hey, 3D Gunner, I don't think you've ever been on my channel before. I remember talking to you on another channel. I think it was Mike Willie's channel, if I remember correctly. $50? Why would you have it at 50? You can go at least 60 on that. Even faster. Okay. We're going to change fan speed down to 10. We'll change it all to 10. Oh, were you here before? Oh, I'm sorry, man. It's just I've had so many new people come in. I haven't seen you in a long time, so I didn't think you were part of my channel. I do apologize, man. But thanks for coming in, though. I do appreciate it. How am I doing? I'm doing great. I got a little thermal runaway protection issue popping up on my printer, so I'm trying to figure it out. No, January 1st still. It'll be January 1st when I come back on. You know, right now it is 1:54 a.m. my time. So if you guys are in the UK, then it'll probably be the 2nd. You know, when you think about the UK/Canadian border, you know, it's right in the middle of the ocean. But yeah, no, I'm having thermal runaway issues. So what I'm going to try to do is I knocked my fan down to 10. I'm going to try to print again and see what happens. Oh, dude, I understand that completely. You know, as 3D, you know, as Canadians, Americans, anybody, really, guys, I mean, honestly, we think about the world as in our time. We don't really look at it as world time. So, you know, we're thinking, oh, you know what? I'll just come on one, you know, at, 11 o'clock. Well, 11 o'clock could be 3 o'clock in the morning in some parts of the world. Like when I had my girlfriend who lived in Japan. That was a hellish time to try to figure out what would be a good time to call her. I used to have to wait till 4 o'clock in the morning to give her a call and see how she was doing. So... and that's 4 a.m. my time. Ugh. It's hard to do it. Yeah, I do have the silicone sock on it. That's the thing. And I'm still having the thermal runaway happen. Now, my thermistor is working because the thermistor is rating at, like, when I heat up the, when I heat up the block and I'm watching the thermistor, it hits 200. Great. Then when those fans kick on, the 1550s, I was warned you're going to have issues with the 1550s. I knew this going in. But I may have to adjust them a little bit more. May I gotta drop the nozzle a little bit more? I don't know. But having nothing but thermal runaway. So I gotta play with it still. I'm gonna try printing it one more time, just slicing it up right now. When I put this in, this thing is going to howl like a storm. This thing, it is noisy. Let me just give you an idea. So I have a video here of the printer, so you guys can hear it when it fires up, and it is noisy. Yes, that is the fan on this thing. It's a little noisy, but oh well. That is the front fan on it. And if you guys want to have a look at it again, close up. There you go. That is the CR10's new fan. Whole 9 yards. And as you can see, there's silicone sock. You can see it right there. And it is noisy. That is my next bet. Yeah, I'm probably going to try that. Hey, Ashley, how's it going? Everybody's coming in now. Hey, Rover, Happy New Year to you too, buddy. Same with you too, Ashley. Thank you for coming in. So, yeah, thermal runaway. Fun. No, I'll try that out. Try turning on the fans without blowing on the hot end. Make sure, yeah, I'm going to have to check that out. I'll go in, I'll just disable the fans completely. But I know it's heating up even when the fans aren't running, so I'm not thinking that could be the case, but it could be. But let me get that machine powered up. I'll get it set up and get everything going here. I'm doing fine, Ashley. Thanks for asking. I'm just dealing with thermal runaway, and my printer doesn't want to work right. The CR10, yes, my baby. Well, hopefully this is going to fix it. Give me a second, guys. I'm just going to plug it in and get it set up with OptiPrint here. Okay, we got the Banshee blowing. So let's go into our settings and let's go turn on Does it run away as soon as you turn them on without any movement? Oh boy. No. So Ashley's also well, I don't know what's going on with her. I know that she was getting a 3D printer, then wasn't, or I have no idea what's going on. But she's always welcome in the house, even if she doesn't have a printer. You know who we're missing for you, Ashley? We're missing John Mack. I think he's sleeping though. Let's go check. I'm just gonna pull up here. 192.168.0.20. So we got Octoprint up and running. Sorry, it's taking up my head here, but we're going to put this off to the side here. Oh, not my picture. Actually, that would be better. Okay, let's do Octoprint full size. Yeah, stop moving my screen. God, this is pissing me out. This is being weird today. There we go. And now I'm going to take my webcam, make it smaller. And we'll bring the webcam on top of the display catch. There we go. Okay, so there it is right there. So let's connect into this. Connect. Okay, so we're inside the printer right now. Let's go to tool at 200. Check mark. Set the bed for 60. Check mark. Yeah, I checked all my cables. They seem to be okay. I'm not seeing any pinched cables or anything on the printer itself. But it may be. I don't know. I'm going to go through the printer again and have a look. I think he's already gone to bed, unfortunately. I have my beef with sending data, truthfully. I've had programs go rogue on me and cause me nothing but headaches when they do that. So I usually don't like doing it, but yeah. Me, it's only because I only have so much data allowed per month here. And sometimes I've had programs run rogue and send way more than just the regular, than off on data that goes straight out. And it has affected my data so much that I turn those off now. So I don't trust them. Yeah, I trust Octoprint, but it's one of those things that's just like, ugh. So the item we're going to be slicing, that I sliced, is the Benchy that you're seeing right now on the screen. So let me zoom in on it. So that's what we're going to be printing. It's going to be this Benchy. We're printing it on filaments.ca gray. Now I've looked at the first layer. The first layer comes out perfect. It's this weird error I'm getting that's really bothering me. Is that thermal runaway protection. It just kicks on and it's just like, no, not thermal runaway. Oh no, I don't believe. You know what? I have no problem giving her that information. I just don't have. It's a data issue, more or less. Yeah, sure. Save it there in my hard drive. Okay, so we can see that in Cura, we've enabled cooling only at 10%. Gina needs my information, and I'll reach out to her sometime this week. I'll reach out to Octoprint. I'll say, hey, Gina, do you really need that data that I'm getting off my printers? The only reason is I worry about, blah, 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 blah. And I'll explain it to her exactly, and I'll see what she says. Oh, geez. Sorry to hear about your dad, Ashley. Yeah, strokes really scramble people's brains. Geez, sorry to hear that, Ashley. But it's good to hear that he's doing better. What one of my friends did for his father when he suffered a stroke, he bought him like a phone like this, very similar to this, but it was enabled with voice. When he couldn't think of the word, he could look at the picture and go, "That's what I want," and press the button, and it would say what he was looking for. Yeah, singing does use different parts of the brain. That is true. Guys don't need to see that one. Light bar base. I don't remember having that on there. But okay, if you say I made it. Cassian, you don't need to know what that's about either. So let's go see if we can get this into the printer and see what happens. Documentation. There we go. There's the benchy. Drop it in there. Okay, so we're connected to CR10. Let's see what this happens. Okay. Still stabilizing. Okay, printer's going through its motions. Another thing I'm planning on doing is put ceramic drivers on this once I figure out that's the cooling fan or not that's causing the issue. And there we see it drop right there. So it does drop. Let me see how far it's in the print where it dropped. Okay, so we're having an issue. Okay. So even with the fans, I even turned them down even more, and it's dropping. So there's something up, and I'm not sure if it's in the firmware. I haven't had this issue before, but ever since I went to this firmware, I've been having this issue. And I'm using Timothy Hoogland's firmware, which is starting to make me question it. I shouldn't see a drop in temperature like I'm seeing right now, even with the fans hardly even blowing. But you see, there's another dip. The first dip, that was just with it getting the nozzle ready. No fans on. So I'm starting to think we might have a problem. Right there is there it is. Error reported by printer. So I think it's a firmware issue. Looks like I'm going to have to go back, recode the firmware, and try reloading it again. And then try another print. Thermal runaway protection error. Yeah, I'm starting to think it's the firmware. Because what it's doing is turning off the heater when it's priming the nozzle, and then it turns the heater back on, and then and maybe it's not turning on the heater properly. So yeah, it did actually, but I was having more problems with my nozzle because it used to gum up on the nozzle all the time, and that was because the boating tube wasn't holding. I was having issues with a whole lot of problems with that printer. And it's ever since I got, after a year after the printer, I had it. It just started gumming up, started doing some weird stuff. So I just decided, okay, time to replace the nozzle, put the new nozzle on there, and try to figure it out. It'll take me a little while. I'm going to go through I'm going to try using, I'll look at the Marlin information and go through it. So yeah, it's going to be a Marlin update. Probably it's something's gone wrong in the firmware. I missed something. So I'm going to go through it for a fine-tooth comb and verify everything is in that firmware. Hey, Shroom. Happy New Year to you guys. Same with you too, Wiley, if I didn't say it already. So I am going to go through this and try to see if I can get it down pat and see what's going on with this. Just ticks me off that I'm having the thermal runway protection. I can't seem to figure out what's causing it. That's the problem, is trying to figure this out. Now, I have been doing some testing on the side. Now, I think it's a heater block issue. I'm going to look into it because No fire. Sorry, Vince. Vince would be happy if there was a fire. I'm having thermal runaway protection errors pop up, so I'm trying to get to the bottom of this, but I'll figure it out tomorrow morning. Anyways, guys, thanks for logging in and everything else. I'm going to go shut down the printer in the other room, but it's 242 minutes before your New Year, before 2019, dude. It's overrated. Trust me, already. I already know this. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the. I'm going to try a whole lot of different things, and I'm going to go back through the firmware. I'm going to see if there's something I might have missed, because if I didn't turn on something in the Timothy Hoogland's firmware, it can cause a lot of issues. Now, if I go on tomorrow afternoon, I know I'm going to have half of the crew coming in saying, "Don't use Timothy's. We'll walk you through the actual vanilla Marlin," which is okay. Well, we can go for the vanilla Marlin. So I know that's going to happen in the middle of the afternoon. So hopefully we can get everybody in. We can do a full Marlin update to the printer and deal with the memory issues, because we're going to have to strip out a lot. And I mean strip out a lot so it'll fit on that board. So I want to thank you guys for coming in at least. I mean, this is a really good view turnout we've had at nighttime at this hour of the night. So thank you, everyone. I do appreciate it. Yeah, exactly. Better than 2018 with my being so suicidal as I was. But you know what? I've had some therapy. I've had some counseling. So I can't say I haven't got the help I needed. But yeah, it's going to make it an interesting day tomorrow. But I'm going to call it a night, guys. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon, and we'll try to get down the Marlin and get it set up properly. Anyways, guys, night.